I have just one question to ask you, sir. It's October. Why didn't you tell me that it was October? You were supposed to tell me that. I hired you to be the scheduling coordinator, That's right, folks. It is October, and you know what that means? Not just Halloween, not just the start of fall. It's collection month. I'm getting started a little late this year, though, and that's because I'm cutting collection month down 1 week. We're only going to have 3 installments this year. I know that that's probably disappointing to hear, but rest assured, you're still getting 2 of the mainstay collection videos that you're used to seeing every year. You will, of course, be getting the Thomas & Friends Home Media Collection. You're watching it right now. And then next week, you'll be getting my complete Blu-ray and 4K collection. The final installment of Collection Month 2025 is of a collection that I've never really showed off. I've showed bits and pieces of it, but never all at once. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Yes, that does unfortunately mean we are axing the video game collection. If I'm going to be honest, it hasn't changed very much. It's the collection that has remained mostly stagnant over the last year, so there wouldn't be a lot of change, and I just don't think you guys would find it all that interesting. Plus, it's spread out among like 3 different houses. We got the apartment here, we got Hope's mom's house, we got my parents' house. I mean, it's everywhere. And me being a completionist, I'd want to show it all. And if I don't find one little obscure game and don't show it here on YouTube, it'll haunt me till the day I die. Look at this big Max behind me. I know it's not Christmas time yet, and I should be angry that this is out right now, but look at him, he's so long. So without further ado, let's go over to my parents' house and let's begin the complete Thomas & Friends Home Media Collection for 2025. So we're starting the complete Thomas & Friends Home Media Collection video here at my parents' house. As you can see, I started packing up some VHS tapes and then it didn't really go anywhere. I wasn't really sure how to fit most of these in this box here. These are just kind of awkwardly placed up here at the top, but just like in previous years, we'll go through them one by one. Most of the collection is still here. There is some stuff over at my apartment, which we'll take a look at after we wrap things up here at my parents' house, but yeah, most of the collection is still here. So I guess we'll start with these VHS tapes in here. We'll go from the top, I suppose. We got a reprint of Gallon Old Engine, original copy of Thomas and the Special Letter, Thomas and His Friends Help Out, Thomas and the Jet Engine, Big Day for Thomas, a red copy of Thomas Gets Tricked, red copy of James Learns a Lesson, and a blue copy of James Learns a Lesson. Tenders and Turntables, that's not a red copy, that's a black copy, but it is in original print. I got a reprint of James Learns a Lesson, Thomas's Christmas Party, Percy's Ghostly Trick, James Goes Buzz Buzz, Daisy, Thomas Percy and the Dragon, Gallon Old Engine, reprint of Daisy, reprint of Rusty to the Rescue, Thomas Meets the Queen, Thomas Gets Bumped, and an original copy of Rusty to the Rescue. And then above that, 10 Years of Thomas. That is a black copy, I believe. Let me confirm. It's a black sticker label. Yes, the rare variant of the sticker labels of 10 Years of Thomas. Calling All Engines underneath that. Percy's Chocolate Crunch. 2 other copies of 10 Years of Thomas. That's a blue sticker label, and that's a late 2000s reprint. And then up here, we got 2 copies of Thomas Comes to Breakfast. One of them is the Kmart exclusive variant, and then an original print of Thomas Trackside Tunes. So underneath that is our second layer of VHS goodness. So we got Thomas Gets Tricked, that's a 90s reprint. Percy's Ghostly Trick, that's another 90s reprint. Thomas' Christmas Party reprint. Thomas Gets Tricked, another reprint version. James Learns a Lesson, another 90s reprint. Thomas and the Special Letter, Sing Along in Stories, James Goes Buzz Buzz, James Learns a Lesson, early 2000s print. It's Great to Be an Engine, Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, Percy Saves the Day, Hooray for Thomas. Thomas and the Really Brave Engines is still pretty hard to find over on VHS on places like eBay, so that's I'm really fortunate to be able to have that. An original copy of Cranky Bugs. We've got the TV Teddy tape, That's quite a mouthful. TV Teddy tape. I've probably said that before, but it's kind of a tongue twister. Thomas and Bertie's Great Race, Thomas's Sort of Celebration, New Friends for Thomas, the ultra rare Tales from the Tracks on VHS, which it is rare. I don't know why I make fun of people for saying that, but it is rare. Second print of Calling All Engines. I forgot that I had this. This one is in significantly better shape than mine. I bought this in a lot years ago. It was one of the first lots I ever bought over on eBay. I totally forgot that I owned this. Hang on. Is there anything different about it? No, it looks the same. I can't remember where I got that. Maybe there's a fan of mine named Ricky who bought something off my eBay store a while ago, and he routinely sends me care packages, so he might have sent that to me. Steamies versus Diesels, track stars, and songs from the station. So this is embarrassing. When I was recording this portion of footage for the collection video, I seem to have forgotten to mention this group of VHS tapes up here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. A reprint of Sing Along and Stories, 3 original prints of Thomas Comes to Breakfast, A Big Day for Thomas, that one's pretty rare, and Thomas and His Friends Get Along, and then a reprint of Thomas and His Friends Get Along. Now back to your regularly scheduled footage. So why don't we take a look at some of the stuff that's here on the top shelf, shall we? We've got some Wooden Train bonus packs. Way up here at the top, there's Percy's Chocolate Crunch, Thomas's Christmas Wonderland, A Big Day for Thomas, Thomas Percy and the Dragon, The Best of Thomas, Thomas Gets Bumped, Cranky Bugs, and The Best of James. And then before we look at this stuff over here, I want to show you guys I call them bear copies of tapes that I've got here. There's a bear copy of an original print of Spills and Chills, Songs from the Station, Cranky Bugs, Spills and Chills again, and 10 Years of Thomas. Oh, and behind that, we got a really fun little piece here. Got a little Take and Play plus bonus DVD pack of Thomas's Railway Adventures. This isn't sealed or anything, but I did keep the packaging just because it looks more complete when it's all packaged together like that. We got all 3 copies of Thomas and the Magic Railroad here that I own on VHS, and then the coin bank of 10 Years of Thomas. Now we can take a look at all the fun box sets and Wooden Train bonus packs that are up here. Starting over there closest to the wall, Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, Thomas Gets Tricked, and A Big Day for Thomas. I believe all 3 of those were purchased at FYE, back when FYE used to actually have physical media. They used to have a bunch of Wooden Train bonus packs. There's actually a few episodes of Home Media reviews way back in its early days. I recommend going to FYE to pick up Wooden Train bonus packs. Not anymore. James Goes Buzz Buzz, Percy's Ghostly Trick, Thomas's Snowy Surprise, Calling All Engines. This is still sealed, I believe. Yes, still sealed. This came courtesy of my good friend Roman's TBR Empire. He sold this to me because he found a whole bunch of fun stuff at a hobby store, and this was one of them. Just really cool to have. I don't think I'm ever going to open this. I just feel like it's fun keeping it sealed. And then this is also sealed. It's James Goes Buzz Buzz. Andrew, Wooden Fan 1, he gave this to me at Entertainment Extravaganza show that we all were a part of a few years ago. He bought it at Ollie's for $1.99. And I promised him that I'd never open it. We got the Runaway Engine, which if I'm not mistaken is basically just... This is just Thomas and his friends help out, right? I think. Yeah. I don't keep all this knowledge inside of me, guys. Most of the time, after I'm done with recording stuff, the knowledge gets flushed right down the toilet, so I don't remember a lot about these releases. So if we look here, we got Totally Thomas Volume 4. Bought this in Ohio years ago when my aunt and uncle lived up in Dayton. I bought it specifically there when I was like 10 or 11 years old because my New Friends for Thomas DVD got scratched. And I think we went to like a Target or something, and I got 2 DVDs with it too. And then the Steam Engine Stories, my bad. Steam Engine Stories box set that I bought years ago when I went to one of the meetups at Entertainment with Multi Green Thunder, Percy 6 Productions, Miles, and a couple other people. Because I had this box set growing up as a kid, but I didn't have the box anymore. It got busted or broken or something. So I bought this box set to replace the one that I had. That's enough of that shelf. Let's move on down here. This is a sampler DVD that's included in a 2-pack Thomas the Tank Engine Big Blue Treasury and Big Yellow Treasury. Andrew tagged me on Twitter a few years ago and was like, hey, you should buy this. So I did, and I still haven't opened it up. I don't think I'm ever going to, because it's just too cool to have that sealed. We got the Walmart exclusive 2-pack of Tale of the Brave and Engines to the Rescue. Tale of the Brave is a digital movie, and then Engines to the Rescue is a DVD. Still have the box for that and everything. I found that sealed on eBay, actually. And then the elusive DVD Bingo. And below that, we've got all my 2007 reprints of the best ofs. We got Best of Thomas, Best of Percy, Best of James, and Best of Gordon. None of them work anymore. There's no reason to push their noses. As a matter of fact, James is still kind of holding on there for a bit, but none of the other ones work. King of the Railway, for some reason. I don't know why that's not in the stacks with all the others, but it's there. And then Races, Rescues, and Runaways. That's also outside of there. Oh, I can show you guys this stack too. This is a bunch of other random stuff. Frosty Friends, Hit Favorites. We got that. Better Late Than Tricked. Story of Thomas and the Jet Engine sampler DVD. We got Diesel from Thomas to the Rescue. Emily's Adventure, that came from Wooden Railway only. Henry and the Elephant. These are all the take-along DVDs. Gordon Takes a Tumble. James and the Trouble with Trees. Percy Takes a Plunge. And then Thomas and Special Letter. Underneath that, we have another little sampler DVD that I believe was included in a take-along set, I think. Got some loose DVDs that came from Dan, All Aboard with the Steam Team and The Great Race from the UK. Underneath that, songs from Sodor and On Track for Adventure. Here's another sampler DVD. It's the episode Disappearing Diesels, and it was included in a Wooden Railway set. And another sampler DVD. I think this one came with the Search and Rescue Center, I believe. And then my loose copies of On Site with Thomas, and Thomas Percy and the Dragon, and my bootleg that I made of Dinos and Discoveries. This, I don't know if this has been covered on HMR yet. It's a 2-pack of Thomas Gets Tricked and Percy's Ghostly Trick. Again, I don't know if it's been covered on the show yet. If it hasn't, it will be soon. We got Snow Days, fun hit entertainment releases. We got Steam Team Collection. This one is super rare. Great Destinations. Not a lot of people have this. I'm very fortunate to be one of the only members in the fandom that has it. Engines to the Rescue. That's another copy of that. And Tales from the Rails. Covered this a few seasons ago in HMR. So before I show you the rest of the VHS collection and a Republic Attack Shuttle, for some reason, we got to take a look at the bulk of the collection, which is the DVDs. So many DVDs. So let's jump right into it. Starting at the top, we got Thomas Gets Tricked. James Learns a Lesson, 3 copies of that, including the one that started it all, that started my legacy on Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. That James Learns a Lesson is the culprit that led me to doing this. The Apple copy of James Learns a Lesson, 2 copies of Trust Thomas, slim case and regular. Thomas gets bumped. Thomas, Percy and the Dragon. Percy takes the plunge. James goes buzz buzz. Percy's Ghostly Trick with a special glow-in-the-dark Halloween slipcover. Rusty to the rescue. Thomas and the Special Letter. 2 copies of Thomas and his Friends Help Out. Sing-along and stories. 2 copies of that. Hop on Board is just sing-along and stories. Henry and the Elephant. Thomas's Friends Get Along. 2 copies of Thomas Comes to Breakfast. Slim case and regular. Big Day for Thomas. Cranky Bugs. Races, Rescues, and Runaways. And 10 Years of Thomas. Next stack. Thomas's Christmas Wonderland. That was graciously donated to the collection by Wooden Railway only a few years ago. Make Someone Happy, Spills and Chills. Like 5 copies of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. The top one's a Canadian print. A couple of them are original prints. 2 of them are like recent 2019, 2020 DVD prints. One of them is still sealed. Trackside tunes. 2 copies of Best of Thomas. The thicker one has a CD sampler in it. Best of Percy. 3 copies of Best of James. The thicker one has a CD sampler included with it. Salty's Secret. Percy's Chocolate Crunch. 2 copies of James and the Red Balloon. 4 copies of James and the Red Balloon, excuse me. One of them I think has a CD sampler. This one's a Lionsgate reprint, and then this one's just kind of cool. It's like a 2009 print. 3 copies of Thomas's Snowy Surprise. The bottom copy is really cool. It's got like a fun advent calendar included with it. It was a Walmart exclusive. Okay, next stack. Best of Gordon, slim case, regular Best of Gordon, Thomas and the Jet Engine. Steamies versus Diesels. 2 copies of New Friends for Thomas. One of them is scratched. It's Great to Be an Engine. Hooray for Thomas. 2 copies of Calling All Engines. We have an original print and a Lionsgate reprint. Thomas's Sodor Celebration. Songs from the Station. Percy Saves the Day. Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. And I should also mention that Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, A Big Day for Thomas, and Thomas Gets Tricked were all included in those Wooden Train bonus packs. Those boxes that I showed off earlier, those were literally just empty boxes. On Site with Thomas, Track Stars, 3 copies of Thomas's Halloween Adventures. There was a point in time where Universal would not stop reprinting Thomas's Halloween Adventures. We have an original print, a Universal reprint, and then a fun glow-in-the-dark Halloween slipcover. Milkshake Muddle, Thomas's Trusty Friends, Carnival Capers, Ultimate Christmas, Thomas and the Treasure, and Engines and Escapades. Thomas and the Toy Workshop, Mud Glorious Mud, The Great Discovery, Railway Friends, High Speed Adventures, 2 copies of Team Up with Thomas. That bottom copy is a Valentine's Day slipcover variant. Percy and the Bandstand, the Adventure Pack, basically just Season 12. Hero of the Rails, we have a Lionsgate print and a Universal print. Holiday Express, a thick case and a slim case. Splish Splash Splosh. Thomas and the Runaway Kite, The Greatest Stories. Creaky Cranky collab, it's coming. It's coming. Misty Helen Rescue, The Lion of Sodor, Wobbly Wheels and Whistles. We have Pop, Goes Thomas, The Birthday Express, Thomas in Charge, Merry Winter Wish, Day of the Diesels, 2 copies of Merry Christmas Thomas, Lionsgate and Universal, Trouble on the Tracks, Rescue on the Rails, Curious Cargo, Up and Away, Engine Friends, Schoolhouse Delivery, Blue Mountain Mystery, A Very Thomas Christmas, 2 copies of that, an original and a Universal reprint. Sticky Situations, Muddy Matters, Go-Go Thomas, Railway Mischief, Animals Aboard, Santa's Little Engine, The Thomas Way, Spills and Thrills, Tale of the Brave. I'm starting to get very tired. The Adventure Begins, Signals Crossed, Dinos and Discoveries, Free Sampler DVD, Quarry Adventures on Sodor, Thomas's Halloween Adventures and Percy's Ghostly Trick 2-pack, On Site with Thomas and a Races, Rescues, and Runaway 2-pack. Thomas and the Toy Workshop and Thomas and the Really Brave Engines 2-pack. New Friends for Thomas and Spills and Chills 2-pack, Best of James and Best of Thomas 2-pack, Whale of a Tale, Wild Water Rescue, Legend of the Lost Treasure, Thomas's Christmas Carol, Tales on the Rails, Start Your Engines, Tinsel on the Tracks, Ultimate Friendship Adventures, Extraordinary Engines, Journey Beyond Sodor, Christmas on Sodor, Thomas's Holiday Collection, and finally, Big World, Big Adventures. Oh, that's a lot of DVDs, man. And you want to know what's even funnier? That's not even all of them. There's still more at the apartment, but we got to get through the rest of the VHS first before we can get there. Spills and Chills, this I think is from a library, as well as the Best of James. And then over here, we got Thomas and his Friends Help Out, 2 copies of James and the Red Balloon, Salty Secret, Thomas's Snowy Surprise, 2 copies of Make Someone Happy, a black copy and a blue copy, Races, Rescues, and Runaways, Best of Percy, Best of Thomas, Best of Gordon, 2 copies of that, 2 copies of Thomas Breaks the Rules, the top one's a red variant, Better Late Than Never, 2 copies of that, Trust Thomas, there's a Strand copy in there and a Time Life copy below that, Spills and Chills, 2 free sampler VHS tapes, Thomas's Christmas Wonderland, and finally 2 copies of Thomas Gets Bumped, a reprint, and an original. So this angle should look somewhat familiar to you if you're fans of Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. This is my bedroom in my apartment where I shoot the close-ups now. And the rest of my Thomas Home Video collection lives here. This is mostly my UK stuff as well as my Blu-rays, as you can see here on top. So we're going to jump right into it here. The Shout Factory, Thomas and the Magic Railroad Blu-ray. This movie looks fantastic on Blu-ray. Still not a great movie, but it does look really good in 1080p. Misty Island Rescue. We all know my opinion on that one. Tale of the Brave. Day of the Diesels. Blue Mountain Mystery. Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. Still think this is the best Thomas movie. The Great Race. And finally, King of the Railway. The Blu-ray that everyone kept telling me to buy for years. I finally obliged. So here's a lot of other stuff that I own. Again, it's a lot of UK stuff. You'll notice the Holiday Favorites box set that wasn't back at my parents' house. That moved over here. I still have it. I didn't get rid of it or anything. As well as the 10 movie birthday collection. That's over here as well. And the early years. Probably the best Thomas DVD box set that they ever produced. So, let's take a look at the rest of these here. We've got The Fogman. Peep Peep Hooray. Hello Louie. He's going to make a little cameo appearance here. Spirit of Sodor. I got this 2-pack of Snow Days and Frosty Friends. We've got another Hit Favorites DVD, Lend a Helping Hand. Come on. Come out of there. Christmas Engines. And my library copy of Christmas Engines that we covered on the show, I think, last year around Christmas time. We got Season 3 and Together on the Tracks, as well as Season 9 and Season 12, First Class Stories, and The Best of Friends, which includes Best of Thomas, Percy, and James from the UK. So we got rid of the other box. Let's bring in this one, the bigger box. Full of Thomas DVD goodness. Well, it's not really full, per se. There's another collection over here that's taking up a bit of space in this box. We've got Season 10. The Adventure Begins from the UK. The Very Best of Thomas and Friends. Brave Little Engines. Thomas in Trouble. Edward and Gordon. A Close Shave. Season 11. The Best of Thomas, Little Engine's Big Days Out, Legend of the Lost Treasure from the UK, the Bumper Collection Seasonal Scrapes. I got Season 6, Engines to the Rescue, and finally, Thomas and the Magic Railroad from the United Kingdom. And if you look over here, here's all of Kipper, all my Kipper DVDs. They're still here. Then underneath that is a bunch of Star Wars stuff. We got Trick or Treat Tales. It's another Hit Favorites DVD that just might be coming soon on Home Media Reviews. Look out for that. And then another one that may or may not be coming soon on Home Media Reviews, Winter Wonderland. I never thought I'd actually be actively collecting these Hit Favorites DVDs, but when I find them in half-price books and stuff, and they're like $4 or $5, hey, I get a video out of it, so why not go ahead and grab it? Wasn't that a great collection video, Louie? Did you enjoy that collection video? You did. You don't like it as much as this fish toy, do you? The fish toy's got catnip in it, so of course you'd like that more. And folks, that is it. That is the entire Thomas & Friends home video collection. Split across 2 locations now. Hopefully next year that will no longer be the case. Either it'll all move over here, or I'll move some of the stuff that I've already covered on Home Media Reviews back to my parents' house. Because we're probably going to be in this apartment for another year or so. With that all being said, folks, thank you so very much for watching. Welcome to Collection Month 2025, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good night, everybody.
We swam upstream.